Vengan, sean bienvenidos al desierto que transformamos en vida, donde todas las rutas conducen a un lugar soñado. Dejen que todos sus sentidos hablen y disfruten de un viaje de otro planeta. Acá somos la capital del brindis. Somos de recibir amigos con una copa en la mano y brindamos. Somos de bailar bajo las estrellas y de hacer silencio. Vengan, habitantes del mundo, sientan nuestros aromas, degusten la experiencia y déjense llevar. Mendoza, capital mundial del vino.
This year we start off with a landmark award, our inaugural member of the Hall of Fame, reserved for wineries that top our annual poll. After taking position number 1 as the world's best vineyard 3 years in a row, it is our huge honour to welcome Zuccardi in Mendoza into the Hall of Fame. Zuccardi needs little introduction, as one of the most prestigious estates in Argentina's Yucco Valley, with breathtaking views, a stunning winery, an excellent restaurant, and some of Mendoza's most sought-after wines. Congratulations to the Zuccardi family and the whole team for this groundbreaking achievement. Are you ready to explore the world? Let's find out the world's best vineyards 2022. Kicking off our list at number 50 is Schloss Gobelsberg, a beautiful winery and castle with a noble history of winemaking that stretches back to 1171. This is one of the oldest wineries in the Danube, just north of Vienna in the Kamptal region. It is also one of Austria's most visited vineyards, hosting cultural events and tastings throughout the year. Let's head down under as we move up the list to a mecca for Aussie Shiraz. In at number 49 is Penfolds McGill Estate. You can visit the home of the eminent Penfolds with their McGill Estate Cellar Door, just outside of Adelaide. Although the vineyard here is planted entirely to Shiraz, you can taste a host of their award-winning wines in special wine flights and stay for lunch or dinner at their fine dining restaurant or more casual kitchen affair. We move over to the other side of the world for number 48. The Douro's Quinta de Noval. Making ports since 1715, this impressive quinta has become one of the most sought-after producers of fine ports in recent years, most notably with its world-class Vintage Nacional. You can explore the stunning grounds with exclusive visits to the winery and cellars, or sip away on their classy collection of ports and still wines at their stylish tasting room in Pinhal. We have a new entry at 47, in the heart of the Cape winelands, Tokara. The stunning wine estate of Tokara is a newcomer in the valley of Banghug, but has made quite the impression since its first official vintage in 2005. With sweeping views over Stellenbosch and False Bay, the Tokara estate is breathtaking. It makes for an idyllic spot to taste their wines and estate olive oils with a visit to the winery, or over a spot of lunch or dinner at their stylish art-inspired restaurant. We move from the Cape to California for the next world's best vineyard. And another new addition to this year's list, the Jordan Vineyard and Winery in Sonoma. The mesmerizing 1,200-acre estate is set in Sonoma's Alexander Valley, where this family winery focuses on two iconic varieties for California, Chardonnay and Cabernet Sauvignon. The winery is open to visit for tastings indoors and out, offering wine and food pairings in the vineyard or striking chateau. For number 45, we set sail to the seas of southern Italy, to Donofugata in Marsala. One of 5 wineries of this well-loved Sicilian family producer, it is their Marsala outpost that made it to the list this year for its underground cellar and industrial chic winery. Open every day for tastings and tours, it is a popular visit just minutes from Marsala town centre and offers an insight into one of the world's most age-worthy wines. Coming in at number 44 is another new entry, deep in the hills of Rioja. Bodegas Vivanco. The Vivanco family set their sights on reviving the family's winemaking history in 2004 and have built not only a formidable wine production, but a wine museum, cultural foundation, wine book publishing house, and winery restaurant too. Here you can explore their vineyards and varieties planted throughout Rioja's main wine regions. For number 43, we move to the fragrant fields and forests of Provence, to the relais and chateau property of Château de Berne. The stunning chateau is home to a world-class spa, villas and hotel, along with its Michelin-starred restaurant. Linger in the Provençal lifestyle with wine tastings, cookery classes, and wine therapy treatments in the exclusive spa. You'll certainly need to wish for more than a weekend to best enjoy Berne. We are back to the snaking Douro River and sunlit terraces of Portugal for number 42. At Quinta Nova de Nossa Senhora do Carmo. With a wine cellar built in 1764 and a manor house and chapel built the year following, there is plenty of history to discover at this riverside estate, now owned by the famous cork-producing family Amorim. Take a walk through the historic wine cellar and underground tunnel to arrive in their welcoming Patamar wine and tapas bar. We move from the craggy hills of the Douro to the craggy foothills of Temata Peak in Hawke's Bay for number 41. To Craggy Range Winery, returning to our list once again. Known especially for their stellar red wines, with prized vineyards in Gimlet Gravels, you can taste through the impressive range at Craggy at their stylish cellar door. The winery restaurant is one of New Zealand's best, and the luxury cottages in the gardens offer some of the most memorable and monumental views of Temata. Topping our top 40 is the surreal landscape and survivor vines of Santorini, and this year's best Greek vineyard. Estate Argyro. Located on this volcanic Greek island, the Argyro family have steadily grown their vineyard holdings over the last century to now claim 120 hectares of prized Santorini vines, some of which are over 200 years old. The estate, though, is a slice of modernity with a minimalist tasting room for sampling their wines. We continue on the historic wine trail with number 39, to one of South Africa's oldest estates, Klein Constantia. Founded in 1685 and still making the sweet muscat the region became famous for, Van der Constance, Klein Constantia is a remarkable estate. Just 10 kilometers from the ocean, it's no surprise Klein Constantia is also renowned for its maritime Sauvignon Blanc. You can visit the historic estate for wine tastings, as well as for lunch at their farm-to-table bistro. we stay in sunny South Africa for number 38. Reclaiming its title as Best African Vineyard is Creation. This relatively new winery was established by Swiss couple Jean-Claude and Caroline Martin, who created their dream estate in Walker Bay 20 years ago. Whether stopping in for a wine tasting with a chocolate pairing or indulgent brunch, Creation has covered all bases, including non-alcoholic pairings for a more inclusive experience in their little piece of paradise. Scaling up one place from its position on the list last year, now at 37, is Quinta do Bonfim in Portugal. Owned by one of Port's leading families, the Symingtons, Quinta do Bonfim has pride of place in the Upper Douro Valley. The state-of-the-art winery uses modern lagares, the family's own innovation, to replace human feet with automated treaders. They achieve the same high quality for their top port wines, which can be tasted in their scenic wine tasting room overlooking the vines. In at number 36, and the best vineyard in Australasia is Henschke. This family estate in Eden Valley is one of Australia's most cherished, with an impressive 150-year history and now being run by the 5th and 6th generation of the family. A visit to Henschke can include a tour of their most prestigious vineyards, Hill of Grace and Mount Edelstone, as well as food and wine experiences to dive deep into Barossa hospitality. Vineyard number 35 needs little introduction. Having made its name as one of Bordeaux's greatest estates, classified as a first growth in 1855, is Châteaubriand. Its prized terroir in Pézac gives birth to just 4 wines, which are highly sought after worldwide. A visit to Châteaubriand is an exclusive experience, and an opportunity to see some of the inner workings of this 500-year-old chateau, owned by Prince Robert of Luxembourg. For number 34, we cross the Pyrenees to Penedès in Spain, and Familia Torres Pax del Penedès Vineyard. One of Spain's most influential wine families, the Torres family have spearheaded innovation and sustainability in Spain and Chile. A visit to their Pax del Penedès vineyard and cellar does not disappoint. Enjoy the vistas of their famed Mas La Plana vines from their garden restaurant, either by day, when the vines are kissed by the sun, or at night, when the vineyard is lit by starlight. In position 33, we move to the cooler lands of the Champenois and the home of Ruinart Champagne. Maison Ruinart is proudly the first champagne house, making prestige cuvées since 1729. The historic cellars and chalk chambers of Ruinart, which extend for 8 kilometers underground, are listed as UNESCO World Heritage Site and offer an atmospheric experience. Above ground, a host of celebrations await, with champagne brunch at the weekends and unique immersive dinner experiences. Shooting 13 places up the list from last year is one of the most visited vineyards in Chile, Viu Manent. In the heart of Chile's Colchagua Valley, this family winery is a champion of Chilean Malbec, but produces much, much more. As you are led through the vineyards on a horse-drawn carriage, or make your own way on an e-bike, you can learn about the family's commitment to sustainability. No visit to Viu Manent, however, is complete without enjoying Chilean fare at the Rayula restaurant under the grapevine pergolas. Another impressive estate in the historic Douro Valley makes its way to 31. Welcome to Quinta da Pacheca. With a long history of grape growing for port wines, Quinta de Pacheca reinvented its history in the 1970s, becoming one of the first estates to produce DOC wines in this remarkable terroir. Since 1995, it has opened its doors to visitors who can explore the vineyards and taste the extensive collection of estate wines, ports, and olive oils. The Winehouse Hotel and Spa in the vineyard are icing on the cake. As we close in on our top 30, we're back in Chile. But this time in Casablanca, as Viña Casas del Bosque leaps from position 41 last year into our top 30. A pioneer of this cool coastal wine region, Casas del Bosque is an icon of Casablanca. With vineyard tours by bike and buggy, there's a lot to discover in the grounds here, including the sweeping views over the valley at their exclusive Casa Mirador. Foodies will want to spend most of their time at the award-winning Tanino restaurant though, and finish with tapas at their sparkling wine bar in the garden. Returning to our list again this year and climbing 3 places to number 29 is the stunning Spanish estate of Abadía Retuerta. Set in the Golden Mile alongside the Duero River in northwest Spain, this remarkable Vino de Pago has 180 hectares of vines. Although the vines are relatively new, the heart of the estate is a historic 12th century abbey. The abbey has been lovingly restored and given a new life as a luxury hotel, fine dining restaurant and spa. Across the road is the modern winery, where you can taste through their wines or experience their unique outdoors, art and nature experiences. Following the Douro River from Spain and into Portugal, we arrive back to the Douro and at number 28. Quinta do Infantado. Having debuted on our list at number 50 last year, Quinta do Infantado has climbed high due to its popular wine tastings and opportunity to harvest when visiting in the autumn. Save time to enjoy the sweeping views of the valley and Douro River below from the picturesque 46-hectare vineyard. And we're taking off to France again for number 27, to Bordeaux and the famed chateau of Pichon-Baron. Another classified 1855 growth in our best vineyards countdown. The fairy tale towers of Chateau Pichon-Baron are an iconic image of the left bank. Acquired by AXA Millésime in 1987, the estate has grown in prestige over recent years to become considered as one of the most admired second growths. Exclusive visits start in the vineyard, followed by a vertical tasting in the elegant chateau. We stay in Bordeaux for number 26, and another Grand Cru Classé, but this time in Grave. Welcome to the list in the enviable position of the highest new entrant, Chateau Pape Clément. Owned by French wine magnate Bernard Magret, Chateau Pape Clément is one of the gems of his portfolio, and the doors are open to welcome visitors. Visits start in the stunning gardens of the estate, which are filled with art and sculpture, but wine lovers can explore deeper through special blending experiences, wine and food pairing sessions, and even stay overnight in the boutique hotel in the chateau itself. We reach our halfway point at number 25, with a journey to Argentina and Bodega Salentine. Dubbed as the Cathedral to Wine, Salentine Winery is one of the New World's most stunning, with a picture-perfect mountain and vine landscape to match. The Pons family were pioneers of this part of the Yucco Valley in 1996 and continue to pioneer further into the mountains with their impressive San Pablo vineyard estates. But it is down at the entrance to the Estancia where you find the atmospheric winery, 2 restaurants, one of Argentina's best private art galleries, a hotel, and a chapel. And from South America, we move to North America for number 24, to the legendary Opus One. Founded in 1978 as a landmark joint venture between Robert Mondavi and Baron Philippe de Rothschild, Opus One quickly set the bar for Napa Valley and New World Cabernet Sauvignon. You can dive deep into the terroir and winemaking process with a visit to the winery in Napa, and either taste a vertical of Opus One in the courtyard or immerse yourself in their world of art and food pairing with a sit-down dining experience. We move back across the pond and over to one of Bordeaux's most admired vineyards for number 23. The sweet delight of Château d'Yquem. Making perhaps the most famous sweet wine in the world, Château d'Yquem is the only Premier Cru Supérieur of Sauternes and has been making noble wines for hundreds of years. A rare insight is given into this unique wine through a luxurious visit to the chateau, which can include a vertical tasting of one of the world's most lionized wines. From sweet Sauternes, we move just 100 kilometers closer to the coast in Bordeaux, to the gravel soils of Pauillac, and another of the Rothschild's esteemed estates, Château Mouton Rothschild. The only left bank chateau to ever rise to a first growth status post-1855, Château Mouton Rothschild is remarkable in more ways than one. A visit to this prestigious cellar includes an exclusive invitation into the family's stunning art gallery, which includes an exhibition of the remarkable commissioned labels that grace each new vintage of Château Mouton Rothschild. For number 21, and climbing 3 places from last year, we're back in Argentina, in Mendoza, with the home of renowned winemaker Alejandro Vigil, El Enemigo Wines. Making an eclectic range of wines from around Mendoza, El Enemigo has been steadily gaining critical acclaim as one of Argentina's best producers since its foundation barely a decade ago. Vigil welcomes visitors into his home in Chachingo, where leisurely lunches and extended wine tastings ensue, as guests make their own home in the memorable Casa Vigil and explore the delicious world of El Enemigo. Moving into our top 20, we set off from the new world back to the old, and the second Austrian winery to make it to our list this year, Domaine Wachau. Set on steep terraces facing the Danube River, the impressive vineyards of Domaine Wachau make no less impressive wines with fans all over the world. Impressive too are the Domaine's creative tourism offerings, taking in the experience of its riverside location by offering trips by boat, stand-up paddleboard and yacht. Or for land lovers, you can visit by hiking, on a scooter or a Segway, a Jeep Safari, or you can explore the estate from above on a helicopter. The options are endless at Wachau. Holding its place in position 19 once again is one of the stars of Portugal's Vinho Verde region, Quinta de Avaleda. The grass is greener on the Vinho Verde side, and you can explore the lush and historic gardens of the Quinta de Avaleda estate, as well as doing wine tastings and workshops on your visit. Owned by the Guedes family, don't miss a visit to their ancient cellar, kitchen and courtyard, which date back to the 1800s and are still part of the family wine story, now run by the 5th generation. As we climb up the list to number 18, we leap back to South America, but this time to Chile and the beautiful hillside vineyard of Clos Apalta. Producing one of the most iconic wines of Chile, Clos Apalta is the stunning biodynamic estate and winery owned by the Marnier-Lapostole family. With a striking winery structure that appears like a nest in the Apalta hillside, a visit to Clos Apalta is a delight for the eyes and senses, with a luxurious private wine residence, superb restaurant, and engaging tours through the vineyard and winery. We cross the Andes to number 17, back to Argentina, and this time to one of the most historic wineries there, Bodega Trapiche. Climbing one place on our list this year, Trapiche has been steadily growing since its foundation in 1883 to become one of Argentina's leading producers today, with vineyards all over the country. Its spiritual home, though, is in Maipú, where a lovingly restored Florentine building has become its flagship winery. As well as admiring the old train tracks and historic foudre, you can get acquainted with their newest residents, the farm animals, on a visit to the winery and Espacio Trapiche restaurant. Climbing 11 places this year, one of the top vineyards from Portugal returns, Solero. We are once again in the luscious heartland of Vinho Verde in the Minho Valley. A leading producer of sparkling and still wines with a specialism in Alvarinho, there's plenty of refreshment on offer at Solero. And that's even before you delve into their estate-grown herbal teas. You can imbibe on both beverages with a visit, while enjoying food and wine pairing experiences, or relaxing at the guest house set in their herbal tea farm, just a few steps away from the organic vineyards. And now we pick up pace with our top 15. And we're back to the glamorous champagne houses, this time at Champagne Taittinger. The Taittinger family have been making their renowned sparkling wine for over a century at their impressive cellars in Reims. But the estate's history stretches further back, and into the 13th century in the case of the ancient Abbey of Saint-Nicaise, with its chalk pits first dug out 1,000 years before. Etchings from soldiers who took refuge here during the First World War are still visible today. Savour the region's history, as well as bespoke tastings at Champagne Taittinger. We return to one of the returning favourites of our list, and this time climbing 32 places on last year. In at number 14, Weingut Dr. Lursen, one of the most esteemed producers of the staggeringly steep Mosel Valley. Weingut Dr. Lursen is a family estate with over 200 years to its name. A bona fide master of Riesling, you can taste through the nuance of Dr. Lursen's different vineyards at their Wienertech in Bernkastel. 7 tasteful hotel rooms make for a perfect place to rest your head after indulging. At number 13, we move back to Bordeaux and Chateau Smith or Lafitte. Steeped in history, but also with an eye for innovation, this Grand Cru Classé estate has been converted to fully biodynamic by the Catillard family. Custodians of the 14th century chateau since 1990. Striking sculptures adorn the gardens with an open-air sensual museum, and artwork fills the interior, all of which can be visited on a tasting or when taking a blending masterclass there. Moving up 43 places and our highest entry from France. Congratulations, Champagne Billecart-Saumon. This champagne house has a cult following as one of the few remaining champagne houses to be owned by the original family that established it. The Billecart-Saumon family have taken great pride in their prestigious sparkling wines since the house's foundation in 1818, and you can step into the family cellars in Aix on the banks of the Marne River to sample why. We make a speedy journey across Europe to number 11, and this year's highest climber, Ferrari Trento. One of Italy's most prestigious sparkling wine estates, Ferrari Trento was founded in 1902 and is in the heart of Italy's first DOC, which is exclusively devoted to traditional method sparkling wines. You can explore the rolling Trentino hillsides and vineyards while on a visit to this popular wine cellar for a tasting that promises to start with a celebratory pop. And so, we reach the top 10. Reclaiming its place in the top 10 is the sole winery from Uruguay on the list this year, Bodega Garzón. With its incredibly sophisticated silver LEED certified winery, Bodega Garzón is a leader in sustainability, but also quality. Set on the top of its stunning 2,200 hectare estate in Maldonado, filled with native forests, the 240 hectares of vineyards are surrounded by a vibrant biodiversity of flora and fauna. There's no better place to appreciate the beautiful views and wines than on the terrace of their famed Francis Malman restaurant, followed by a tasting and tour in their stunning underground cellar. We stay in South America for number 9 and visit the highest placed vineyard in Mendoza, which is also the number 1 vineyard in Argentina, Catena Zapata. The Catena family are one of the greatest wine dynasties of Argentina, and their show-stopping Mayan Pyramid winery in Mendoza is one of the most sought-after visits on the wine route. Although with vineyard estates all over Mendoza, it is their prized Adriana vineyard in high-altitude Guaitayari, which is the family's Shangri-La and home to some of the country's top wines. In at number 8 is the highest ranked in Portugal. From one of the most popular wine regions to feature on this year's list, the beautiful Douro Valley. Quinta do Crasto. No stranger to this list, Quinta do Crasto was last year's highest ranking Portuguese vineyard too, and is one of the most prestigious single Quinta port estates with a history stretching back to 1615. The mesmerizing estate sits on the banks of the Douro River and its steep vineyards, where its renowned port and still wines come from, can be visited alongside the century-old house and chapel, before a wine tasting or lunch in the gardens, or overlooking the gorgeous infinity pool. Next is our best vineyard of North America, returning once again with the top ranking, but leaping 33 places to number 7. Robert Mondavi Winery. One of the true pioneers of the modern Californian wine industry, Robert Mondavi's winery in Napa is renowned in particular for its To Kalon Cabernet Sauvignon. But there's much more to discover in the range, from Fumé Blanc to Napa Rosé. Along the famed wine route of Napa, there are a host of wine tastings and culinary experiences on offer, giving ample opportunity to take in the legacy of the late Robert Mondavi. Coming in at number 6 is our second highest ranked from Spain, and first from the very south of the country, in the remarkable region of Jerez. Bodegas Tío Pepe. Owned by González Baez, Tío Pepe is one of the world's most loved sherry producers, making these distinctive fortified wines for over 180 years. Wander through the incredible wine cellars with century-old sherry butts. Breathe in the fragrant Andalusian air while admiring views of the cathedral spires in the courtyard. And linger that little longer in the world of Tío Pepe in their handsome sherry hotel. Are you ready for the top 5? The 5th best vineyard in the world is in Germany, and is the same vineyard that took the top position for Germany last year, as it does in 2022. Schloss Johannisberg. This castle and winery in the Rheingau is steeped in history, with no less than 1,200 years of winemaking experience, and lays claim to the world's first closed Riesling vineyard. Riesling is still the most prized of its wines, although there's much more to taste when visiting this expansive estate with its stately castle, restaurant, and gardens. In at number 4 is one of 2 Chilean vineyards in the top 5. This vineyard has climbed our list every year and comes in prime position this year. Congratulations to Viña Vic. Located in its own 4,300 hectare valley in Cachapoal, the Vic family started this incredible project in 2004. Today, Vic produces one of Chile's most sought-after red blends in its avant-garde winery, selected from the best plots of its 320 hectares of vines. But the world of Vic is much more. This is one of South America's most luxurious hotels, with an impressive art collection, and has a huge range of experiences for the visitor, from wine blending and fine dining to nighttime stargazing and horseback riding. Now in our top 3, and we stay in Chile, but head over the Apalta hillside and into Colchagua. Taking 3rd best vineyard in the world, and the best vineyard in South America is Viña Montes. Spearheaded by one of Chile's greatest winemakers, Aurelio Montes, and his son, Aurelio Jr., Viña Montes is an icon of innovation in the New World and renowned for its diverse collection of wines from all over Chile. The Feng Shui winery in Apalta looks out over its most prized vineyard, which climbs up the slopes into the native forest. The Fuegos de Apalta restaurant is one of Chile's best and can't be beaten for enjoying flame-grilled steak with a glass of Montes Folly. As we close into our top 2 vineyards in the world, we are lured back to Spain. The runner-up of the world's best vineyard 2022 is Marqués de Riscal. Claiming 2nd place once again, this stunning estate and vineyard is one of the most remarkable and memorable in the world. With iconic architecture and a colourful ribboned roof adorning the luxury hotel, Bodegas de los Heredores del Marqués de Riscal is a once-in-a-lifetime destination. The wines too are a great draw for enophiles, and you can learn about the organic viticulture, 150 years of history and innovative new story of this landmark producer in Rioja. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. Taking the top slot in Europe, and for the first time since the very first edition of the list, the world's best vineyard to visit is Marchesi Antinori in Chianti Classico. The Antinori family need no introduction to the world of wine. As one of Italy's most esteemed wine families spanning 26 generations since 1385, and now with wineries all over the world. It is their stunning Tuscan estate in the rolling hills of Chianti Classico that takes the trophy today. It took several years to build this landmark winery, which officially opened in 2012 as a beacon of sustainability, innovation, and visionary architecture, blending seamlessly into the surrounding hills. An enormous congratulations to the whole Antinori family and team for this monumental achievement as the world's best vineyard 2022.